Welcome back, guys. So today I'm just going to be showing you this Bitcoin trade that I took it was actually evening time there, right? So to make matters easier, see that we have higher lows, right? This was a higher low, this was a higher low, and then also over here we also have a higher low. So that means that price is was likely to have a continuation for buys. Now, when we know that price is making higher lows, we want to look at the structure, right? We have this level of resistance. Price broke above it, it corrected, then came above it, it corrected, but in its correction it never took out the previous higher low. So that means that price is respecting the previous structure. That's why I took buys on the third entry. This is where I took my buys over here, and so far we see that price has been pushing ever since then. We have pushed almost let me see how many pips. This has been about 406. So that's 406 on Bitcoin, right? 406 pips, right? On Bitcoin, that's a lot. Bitcoin, that's a lot, right? 406 pips, right? So it's not like I didn't send this signal. I sent this signal actually in the group. I'll just show you here. On my WhatsApp, I told them that, guys, if you are wise enough, look out for buys on gold. Look out for buys on gold. And this is the WhatsApp group. It's called Gold Knights. Okay, so I told them that if you observe over here, where is it? Yeah, over here. I told them, please buy Bitcoin, right? Enter small lots. If you observe, price was just above that area. Okay, so I told them to buy. I just want to show them like the final result. Okay, so yeah, I'll send them this one. Okay, so that's what I told them. Tell them that, hey, you guys, buy Bitcoin because I'm expecting some push on Bitcoin, right? That's what I told them. And yeah, currently we're in some good profit on Bitcoin. Okay, price was bullish above here. That's why we are now in some profit. There's this other trade on gold. Gold, I was taking buys because the structure was not actually showing me any bearish confirmations. I remember we had this level of support over here, okay, that price was respecting, okay, and then price made a higher high. It broke above the previous level of resistance. So here we had resistance over there. We had price came here, it sold off until we had that break, right? That break made a low. So this is the low that structure made, right? So if price goes underneath this low, then I will say that, hey, price could potentially have what, some indication, some bias for sales. This is what I mean. If price goes under here, under this zone, it makes it maybe some bit of a pullback. This is what happens in most of the cases. Price just takes out the previous low, okay, and then just continues to buy aggressively. I've seen this happen sometimes in my back testing. So but in some cases also it can just break, make a pullback, and then sell off, right? Sell off to retest this area over there, right? So that will be the first target. Anyways, not to complicate stuff for you guys, I think once we had that push above, look at this, price made that push above this area, giving us the indication, the correction, and then afterwards I bought here because I held on because price was just tapping above this area, so that's why I bought in the first place. My TPs were these areas on the H4. So on the H4 I was looking for the previous high. Okay, this was the most recent high that price had made, so probably my TP would have been around 50k. Okay, so yeah, with gold we are just floating, but for Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin I bought because I showed you guys I think where I bought. Okay, the first TP is this area of resistance over there. It's around 2k. but I've already closed out the big positions. Though on my other small account, the one for like $140, I took the same entry as you can see. Okay, so we are floating around $13 for this one, right? So if you go to the H4 again, you observe that, yeah, I told these guys to buy, and yeah, price is pretty bullish. Okay, but now can I hold on to this trade a little bit longer? That's the question. Okay, can I hold on to this trade a little bit longer? Well, I want you guys to observe the structure. The structure should always tell you what to do, right? You don't have to confuse anything else. Look at this low, right? Price came here. If you observe, price came to this area of support. Okay, it broke underneath the area of support. It came above. Okay, but we know that if price manages to go underneath this zone one more time, then we shall be looking for sales. Now, given all that, I want to go to the low time frame, the M15, and observe the structure. So then 15, you observe that the structure is still what? We are still bullish. There is nothing that confirms any bearish sentiment. So here you just have to be patient and wait for your setup. But I'll close first position there. Then this one I'll just close half of it, because as I told you, instead of holding on to trades, if you have to hold on to trades for a long time, you have to understand the power of leverage. So we know that underneath this zone, price can sell off, right? This can happen during the night. Okay, so that's why I closed out early, because I may be asleep by that time. So if it closes underneath here and it sells off, I'm good with, having taken some profits off the market. But yeah, that's it. And also the reason why I closed out is because if you observe, we have this low. Okay, but price took out this low. This was the first indication that maybe price wants to do what? To sell. So because we took out the previous structure that gave us this push to the upside. So if price does that, then we may have another continuation confirmation for sales. So where do we look for sales? Underneath this area of support which price previously broke. So if price goes underneath there, then we can sell. So back to my big chart over there, so that I can explain it a little bit better. So on the H4, on my chart here, we have this level of support, right? This is our level of what? This is our level of support, right? Price came here, it broke underneath, came for a correction. It's after the correction, what do we expect? We expect that if it fails to break above, we may have bearish confirmations for sales. So if you observe to the left there, price is resisting this area of what? We have price has reached this area more than multiple times, and it's resisting. It's failing to break above it. So that could be some indication. But also, for me, the most important indication is when price breaks the continuation structure, right? By continuation structure, I mean, let me first remove also this. So I want you guys to observe, this is M15. You have this low, price broke underneath, giving us the indication. This was the high that led to this low, right? So once price broke underneath, I'm expecting if it comes underneath this area the second time, we may see sell-offs. So if I'm buying, my stop loss here would be just under here, $542. As simple as that. And then yeah, you just hold on your trade.